Most people believe that wealth requires a complicated system, spreadsheets, investment apps, financial advisors speaking in language they don't fully understand. So they avoid the whole subject entirely, hoping that someday, somehow, things will simply sort themselves out. And because the system feels too complicated to begin, they never begin at all. In Japan, there is a method so simple it fits inside a single envelope. Today, I want to tell you about the 500 yen envelope trick, a quiet habit used by ordinary workers, earning ordinary wages, that slowly built extraordinary financial peace. This is not a system for experts. It is a system for anyone willing to do one small thing, without stopping, for a very long time. Let me tell you about a man named Daisuke. Daisuke worked at a small print shop in Sendai. His income was steady but unremarkable, and for years he treated money the way many people do, earning it, spending it, and feeling a quiet unease whenever he thought too closely about the future. He wasn't reckless. He simply had no method, no ritual, nothing to hold on to beyond good intentions that rarely survive the month. One day, his uncle, a retired factory foreman, handed him a plain white envelope and said, "Every day, whether you feel like it or not, place 500 yen inside this. Do not think about whether it is enough. Do not think about whether it matters. Just place it every single day without missing one." Daisuke laughed at first. 500 yen felt almost too small to bother with. His uncle simply said, "You are not trying to get rich from the envelope. You are trying to become someone who does not skip a day." This is the quiet core of the envelope trick, not a clever financial strategy, but a discipline rooted in Kaizen, where the amount matters far less than the consistency behind it, repeated 1% at a time, without stopping. Think of a single drop of water falling onto stone. One drop does nothing. You could watch it fall 100 times and see no change at all. But water does not care about being noticed. It falls again the next day, and the day after, indifferent to how small it looks, until years later, the stone bears a mark that nothing sudden could have carved. The envelope works the same way. 500 yen does not shape a life. 500 yen, placed daily without exception, eventually does. Why does something this small actually create real change? Because the envelope was never really about money, it was about identity. Every time Daisuke placed that note inside, he was quietly telling himself, "I am someone who follows through." And here is what most people miss. This small, repeated proof of self-discipline eventually spreads into every other financial decision, because a person who can be trusted with 500 yen daily slowly becomes a person who can be trusted with much more. The common mistake is believing that small, boring consistency is somehow less powerful than one dramatic financial decision. In truth, dramatic decisions rarely last. Boring consistency almost always does. So how can anyone begin their own version of the envelope trick? Let's break it into 3 areas. First, choose an amount so small it feels almost silly to skip. It does not need to be 500 yen. It only needs to be small enough that missing a day feels like a broken promise, not a financial hardship. The size of the amount is never the point. Second, make the ritual physical and visible, at least at first. A digital transfer is easy to forget or postpone. A physical envelope, seen every day, becomes a quiet reminder that cannot be ignored as easily as a number on a screen. Third, resist the urge to open it too soon. The envelope is not meant to be spent the moment it grows uncomfortable to watch. It is meant to sit, untouched, proving to you across months that consistency, even in something small, produces something real. None of these steps require financial knowledge. None of them require extra income. And that is exactly why most people, even hearing something this simple, will still find a reason not to begin. Daisuke kept his envelope for 3 years, never missing a single day, occasionally starting a new one when the last was full. By the end of those 3 years, the money itself had become meaningful, but what changed him more was who he had become in the process. Someone who no longer avoided thinking about money, someone who trusted himself with decisions larger than 500 yen, because he had proven, day after day, that he could be trusted with something small. This is the choice in front of you. You can continue waiting for a system complicated enough to feel legitimate, avoiding the subject until it feels urgent. Or you can take a single envelope, a single small amount, and begin proving to yourself, one day at a time, without stopping, that you are someone who follows through. The envelope does not need to be full. It only needs to be started. If this way of thinking speaks to you, consider subscribing to Will and Wisdom, because we explore ideas like this every week, quiet philosophies that build a life worth having. Leave a comment and tell me the small amount you will start with today. And if you're ready to see how small habits shape extraordinary lives, the next video is waiting for you.